Well, here in Germany, a court has handed down a sentence against former Audi CEO Rupert Stadler. He led the company while it carried out a program to hide the true emission levels of its diesel car engines. The Munich District Court gave him a suspended sentence of 1 year and 9 months. He's also been fined €1.1 million. Earlier this year, Stadler agreed to a plea bargain with prosecutors to avoid a harsher sentence. He admitted he was aware that Audi had installed illegal software which allowed the vehicles to manipulate emissions tests. Joining me to tell us more about the court verdict and ex-Audi CEO Rupert Stadler is my colleague Chiponda Chimbalu from DW Business. Good to see you. So then what does the verdict mean?
Well, the verdict means that for a lot of people who've been waiting for some sort of justice, something has happened finally, and something that is involving a major manager, like a high-ranking manager. He's the first high-ranking manager to be, found guilty because he confessed, to make that plea bargain, obviously, and obviously to be held accountable for his involvement in the diesel emissions scandal in 2015. And he wasn't just the CEO of Audi, he was also the board chairman of Volkswagen, which is Germany's biggest car maker. So this is a big deal for a lot of people. At least someone within the board, within the upper management of that company has been found responsible for the emissions scandal.
So he's been found responsible. It's such a massive scandal. So then people are probably wondering, is the punishment enough?
Yes, that is the other issue here, of course. He's been fined €1.1 million. For someone who is earning millions, that's not a lot. Just to put it into context, it would take the average German probably, upwards of, 2 decades to earn that much money. But for him, considering that he earned millions, it's not as much a big deal. However, this case could have dragged on in the courts for years. The prosecutors had evidence against him, so the case was stacked against him, which is why he made that plea bargain admitting guilt, admitting his involvement, which he hadn't done before, but he also recognized that, and his lawyers obviously advised him to potentially make that agreement. But that agreement he made because he also wanted to avoid a harsher jail sentence. Of course, a suspended sentence is not as bad. He can walk freely, he can move around freely. There's some, of course, conditionality to it, but he's pretty much a free man, and now he has the potential to move forward with his life. He's a 60-year-old man, and I'm sure he wants to put this behind him.
Yeah, so that's one chapter closed, but what's next then in the diesel emissions scandal, more broadly speaking?
Well, with him, the fact is that we don't know if there's going to be any civil court cases against him. This is a criminal court case. However, the civil court cases, we don't know what's going to happen. The likelihood that something's going to happen is highly unlikely because there's not too many car owners involved, just because Volkswagen did buy those vehicles from Audi following the emission scandal. So that has been sort of taken care of, more or less. So we'll have to watch and see if there's anything that happens in terms of civil cases against Stadler going forward. However, there's 5 other people. There are lower-ranking individuals involved in the case in Braunschweig, 5 individuals. And there's also the case against the former Volkswagen CEO, Martin Winterkorn. And his case has been put on hold, though, because he is 75 and he submitted a medical certificate from his doctors to the courts saying that he is not healthy enough to stand trial. So that case is, unfortunately, for the people waiting for some justice or more justice, pending.